Alright, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about Military Tycoon and its future and just the state of the game in general. Recently, a developer said something in the Military Tycoon Discord about their thought process on the game itself, and I want to give my thoughts on that and, kind of critique the developer team. Not in a rude way, like positive criticism. Obviously, I know they're people, they have work, they have lives, I'm not trying to overwork them, but I just want to give my own thoughts on what they have to say. As always, I'll be giving away 10,000 Robux at 20,000 subscribers. We're only a few hundred away. I think we're like 150 away right now. So, you can make that happen right now, but let's get into the discussion. Let me just pull it up on my phone real quick. I'll put it on screen as well. So let me just grab the message. So Louis K22, one of the Military Tycoon developers, said that in the game's current state, they're in a content trap. And if you don't know what a content trap is, basically they feel the need to update the game very often, like every week. We've been getting updates every Saturday for as long as I can remember. So basically, they feel that they're stuck in a content trap or a content loop where they have to update the game every single week. They say this because they're afraid of the negative attention from the community because, obviously Military Tycoon has a lot of toxic people in the fan base, in the community, who kind of give the devs a lot more than they deserve. The devs don't really deserve anything, if I'm being honest. It's not like they're bad people. I mean, it's the game that we're playing. Like, they don't really owe us anything, in all honesty. But obviously, Military Tycoon as a community has a lot of toxic players. But what he's saying here is basically, I think they're afraid of what the player base might think if they stop updating weekly. He said that they've gotten pretty negative reactions from delayed updates or mediocre updates, and that basically they don't have the time to fix any of the game. They don't have time to fix the game itself because they're, updating the game so often right now. So basically, they feel the need to update the game so often to the point where they can't even really fix bugs. And they themselves admitted that the game just gets buggier and buggier and they don't really have the opportunity to fix any of it. So what I have to say to this is just, why not become a bi-weekly updating game? I'm sure the members of the community who aren't 9 years old would actually appreciate bi-weekly updates to Military Tycoon in terms of just quality of the game itself and just updates. I don't know about you guys, but getting, the last two updates we've gotten have been complete duds. We got soldiers that have already been in the game for a while, and we got a new motorcycle, and that's it. All I'm saying is, I'd rather have a bi-weekly update than two mediocre updates, right? Or two not great updates. I'd rather have one not great update, just good update, like bug fixes, a decent vehicle, whatever, every 2 weeks. That's what War Tycoon does, and recently War Tycoon became actually significantly more popular than Military Tycoon. If you guys don't know, War Tycoon has recently taken over Military Tycoon in terms of player count. This is just probably because of the state of Military Tycoon recently, right? I mean, the game itself. What has been going on in Military Tycoon recently? Nothing really interesting in terms of quality. The game itself is just alright currently. War Tycoon, every 2 weeks, I believe. They update every 2 weeks. And they get great updates, high quality updates, very well made updates. It's very bugless. It's a very realistic game. Military Tycoon, I think, honestly, in my whole opinion, is falling behind War Tycoon just because of how often they update the game. It's kind of oxymoronic, right? Military Tycoon updates way more, so they have more content. So you'd think it'd be more popular, but no. Military Tycoon players are just leaving the game. They don't really care about it anymore, just because of the state of the game and how low quality it's been recently. We get good updates, of course. I'm not saying the game is in a total garbage state right now. The game is still enjoyable, it's still playable, I still have fun playing it. And it's not like Military Tycoon's gonna collapse tomorrow because of the state of the updates. But I'm just saying, oh, that was hilarious. But I'm just saying, man, honestly, I would prefer bi-weekly updates. I know it would hurt my YouTube channel a little bit, but honestly, I'd rather create content on updates that are actually well put together, high quality updates than, just what we're getting right now. Military Tycoon has been declining in players for a very long time now. I think they peaked back in 2020, but they've taken a very steep decline recently for some reason. I think since early 2023, they haven't hit more than 15,000 players at once, if I recall correctly. I remember during the Su-47 event, which wasn't even that long ago, I think they hit 25,000 players almost. It might have been 22,000, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but still. And recently in May, the player, I'll put a screenshot of it on screen right now. Recently in May, the player count just dropped off really hard for, I don't really know why. I think players are just migrating from Military Tycoon to War Tycoon, and it's kind of scary to see, right? I really don't want Military Tycoon to die. If you guys don't know, I'm planning to create War Tycoon content eventually, so I'm not like afraid for the future of my YouTube channel, but I'm afraid for Military Tycoon because, you know, I care about this game. I like it. It's like my favorite video game of all time, honestly, just because of how much time I've sunken into it. It's kickstarted my YouTube career, so it's pretty dear to me in my heart, right? I don't want to see it die just because like a lack of quality content. So what I have to say to the devs is, honestly, I think that bi-weekly updates like War Tycoon does would be the right option from now on. First of all, it would decrease strain on the dev team in terms of having to push out an update every week. 2, it increased the quality of content because, you know, developers have 2 weeks to work on the update. And 3, it'll also likely decrease the amount of bugs in the game. Like, look at my render distance just because of the code of Military Tycoon. I have a good computer. I can render things very far away in other Roblox games, but Military Tycoon just has poor code. I don't know why. I think it's because of how rushed, you know, the dev team are. Like I said earlier, the dev team are people. They're humans. Like, I get it. If I was being honest, like, we love to critique the devs, but be honest with yourself. If any of us were in their shoes, I think the game would be in a worse state than it is right now. I'm just saying. But still, I think they could do better. Just like I said already, they don't owe us anything, but they just could like I've said it already. More like space out updates more. Because I think I could speak for most of my audience right now when I say that I prefer a good update every 2 weeks than an unenjoyable update every week. Like, it would just be better. That's about all I have to talk about today. Thank you for listening to my little rant. Comment down below what you honestly think about the state of Military Tycoon currently, and how much if you would prefer bi-weekly updates over the current weekly format. Personally, I'd love bi-weekly updates compared to weekly. That's just my preference though. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.